But before I go there, I would like to reiterate that we are following this diagram, which you can see on my screen. And we have so far completed these three items. And currently, we are discussing this fourth item, which is tools and integration. Today, we are discussing this one. We'll also demonstrate how these works in real life scenario. Hello and welcome to Ambition Success. My name is Imran and you are watching chapter Ways to Online, where we believe if there is will, there are ways to online. Once again, welcome back to the AI Agent Development Journey series. In the previous video, we discussed what AI agents are, the AI Agent Development Lifecycle, tools, and integration, and how workflows operationalize AI agents using Power Automate. But in real life enterprise environments, AI agents are often not triggered manually through chat interface. Instead, they are invoked programmatically, right? By orchestration platform, automation systems, backend applications, monitoring systems, and enterprise workflows. And this communication usually happens through REST APIs. So in this video, we are going to learn how to integrate a Copilot Studio AI agent using REST APIs. And towards the end of the video, I will also demonstrate how the same integration can be operationalized inside UiPath Maestro. For this demonstration, I will continue using the same AI agent from the previous videos. The agent name is SkySense BLR. This AI agent monitors Bangalore weather condition when it receives the instruction SkyScan. If you remember, we had a topic and SkyScan was the query of that topic, and with that we were interacting with the AI agent, and it checks weather it checks weather information, analyzes the forecast, and returns whether rain is expected and the temperature at that point of time. In the previous video, this agent was triggered through a workflow, but today we will trigger this AI agent directly through REST APIs. So this is a very important architectural shift. We are moving from human to agent interaction to system to agent interaction. Now, before implementation, let me quickly show you where all these APIs references are officially documented. So if you go to learn.microsoft.com, which is here, and then you have to click on this Azure, which I am clicking right now, and then you have to wait for this page to load, and then you have to click on this AI and machine learning at the left, and then you will have to click on Azure AI bot services. And once it is loaded, you have to click on bot framework SDK. Once you click here, this left panel will open, and there you have to click on this reference. Okay, you can see under reference you will find this REST API reference. Under that you will have to click on this direct line API 3.2, and here is the key concept. And see, authentication, start conversation, sending message, receiving message, all with our agent has been documented over here, right? Now, this is very important that you have this documentation, because whenever you work on enterprise AI integration, official documentation becomes one of the most important resources. So let's understand the architecture before implementation. In this demo, Bruno API client will act as the external system. So right now on my screen at the left hand side here, you can see the Bruno app. This is the one. And then we will have like direct line API. So if you now see, this is the one which is the APIs, and at my left I have that agent. So what will happen, the external application will authenticate, okay, and then start conversation, and then send the message, and then receive response also. And later in this video I will also show how UiPath Maestro can operationalize the same integration pattern. So let's get started. So if you need to do what I have just mentioned, what you have to do, you have to go to, this is the one, the settings. First you have to go, and then you have to go to security, and then you have to go to authentication. I will zoom this so that you can see. So in authentication you have basically three options. The one is no authentication, the second one is authenticate with Microsoft, and authenticate manually. We will be demonstrating no authentication. The rest of the two items are not, will not be demonstrated over here, but I can give you some glimpse. For example, authenticate with Microsoft will use your Microsoft ID to authenticate, and authenticate manually will require Azure app ID creation secret. From there you need to integrate or incorporate inside your agent, and then only you can do whatever I have just mentioned. But as the last two are out of scope, let's focus on no authentication. Though we are talking about no authentication, but that does not mean the external system will authenticate without any security or without any uh, token or something like that. No authentication will also require some bit of settings, and let me show you those. So now we have, you have to select no authentication, and then you have to go to web channel security, and here you can see we have two secrets, right? This is needed this is needed for that external system, which in this case is Bruno, to work. Okay, so I will create one collection and the name of the collection will be SkySense demo video, and here I will now use one by one all those things. So first let me go to the Microsoft documentation. So if I open this one, we have this authenticate. Now if you go to this authenticate, you will find that the endpoints are also mentioned. So let's open authenticate, and see, it is also mentioned over there, and this is the endpoint which we need to do the authentication. So this is a post request. What I will do, I will copy this, okay, and then I will create a new request which will be post request, and here I will write authenticate, and here I will put the endpoint and will post create. And in authorization I will require this bearer, and here I need this secret. So I will copy this, I will paste over here, and that's it. Okay, let me see this once again. Okay, this is it. Okay, and now what I will do, I will click on send. So now see, we have the conversation ID and the token is also generated. Now one thing here I would like to mention is that sometime you can skip authentication, because if you see this documentation, here you will find uh, generate token versus start conversation. This is important. So you can start conversation directly, because that will also provide you the token. If I go to start conversation, and this is the endpoint. So what I will do, I will copy this, I will go to Bruno, and Here I will create another request. This is also post, start conversation. Okay, I will create this, and here I will also use that same secret, and then I will send. See, as I have mentioned, it also creates the token. But what is the difference between, you know, the authentication and start conversation? What is the difference between these two? Let me explain. As we can see in this node, both the operations returns token that can be used to access a single conversation. Okay. However, unlike start conversation, the generate token operation do not start the conversation. The generate token is generating a token which can be used to start conversation, whereas the start conversation generates the token as well as it starts the conversation also. Okay. The first one, which is generate token, does not contact the bot and does not create a streaming WebSocket URL. So it is also mentioned that if you plan to distribute the token to client and want them to initiate the conversation later, generate token is the preferred approach. But if you intend to start the conversation immediately, then a start conversation should be used instead. So I hope both are clear right now. I have already shown you both of them, so it is up to you whatever you want to use. Okay, so now see, we have started our conversation. If I go to here, which is our document, now let's see what we have next. Now then we can start, like, send an activity to the bot. Okay, that means we are now giving a message to our bot. And what we will do, if you remember in our part 3 video, we were manually writing, what we were writing sky scan, right? Here what we will do, instead of writing it manually, we will pass this query of the agent's topic via API. Okay, so right now I am inside send an activity to the bot. So here you go, this is the API. So I will copy this. Okay, we'll create a new request, and this is also post request. Okay, and we need to authenticate. In this case, we will use this token. We can use the token which was generated using authenticate also, and this is like the bearer token. I will write it over here. We also need a body, as you can see over here. So here is the body. Body will be JSON, and let me copy this. Here we will write sky scan. I believe this is the correct query, because if you remember in last video I made a mistake. Also we need a header, and the header is content type, and that will be application slash JSON. Okay, let's send it. Oh my god, token not valid for this conversation. What went wrong? Again I have to, token is not valid. Sky scan header. So I will regenerate. Okay, the problem is, can you see the conversation ID I have to mention over here? So this one is needed, the conversation ID. So I'm copying this. I will click here and will update this, and let's try one more time. Yes, see, So the activity has been created. That means we have passed uh, the query to our bot, and bot has started working based on that query. Now it is not directly giving you the output. For that you need to this receive activity from bot. This is important. Okay. Okay, so I will copy this. So I will create another new request, and this is the get request, and I will copy this. I will just take up to these activities. I'm not taking the entire thing, but I'm taking only just up to activities. I will copy this, I will paste here. Okay, remember we have to update this one. So I will again take, okay, so I will take up to this, or you can go to start conversation and take this one. Both are same. So I will go here, I will update this. Okay, in authentication I have to provide the authentication token. Okay, and I don't need anything else. Let's send it. So we can see that robot has provided us output. And if you see here, we have the temperature as well as whether there will be rain or not. Okay, so here you go. Okay, so I will just give you a recap what we have done. So first we have done the authentication, and this is our, this is, you can see, this is our endpoint. It has created one conversation and also created one token. Okay, conversation ID was created, but I have also told you that instead we can use this uh, start conversation. This will also give you a token and also give you a conversation ID, but where you will use this versus authenticate, I have also explained. So it is up to you. Then you have to send a message, and this is the conversation actually starting by the query passed from external system to our robot, and this has provided this conversation ID, which I believe is the same fkv hyphen in. Let me show you that hkv hyphen in. And then we have sent this, uh, we have used this get request to get the message, and here you can see we are getting the same output what we were getting when we were manually passing that query SkyScan. Let's continue this video by adding the last element, which is like how in UiPath Maestro we can incorporate the agent created in Microsoft Copilot Studio, and then from there we can communicate with that agent. So for that, I have another agent which you can see on this screen right now. The name of that agent is agent 2b date what time. I know this name is not very good, but for time being, please bear with me. Focus on the feature of this agent. So what it does, I have a topic, and these are excuse me, the topic queries. What it does, if any of these queries are entered in the chat, then it it output this hello sk, the time is, and today's date. This today's date I have created using this expression, which you can see right now here. Okay, so like I have, let me zoom this. So I have inserted date today or today's date. It basically gives output like what you can see. Okay, so here is my maestro, and let me debug this. And it has completed its execution. And this is the workflow, which has various activities. I will explain them later. And see, the last activity is an assign activity, and I can see hello escape, the time is this. Now, by now you have understood that we can use UiPath also to integrate with Copilot agent, and then create downstream workflow, and based on our requirement we can create the model. But I will not just limited this information till this. I will give a little bit more information in terms of how I have created this, so that you can have a little bit, broader exposure to this process which I have created. So what I had to do, I had to create one workflow in UiPath Studio Web. This is a drag and drop, low code, no code interface which can be utilized to create automation, RPA automation, or API automation. And if you see, I have used the HTTP request activities for it, and I have used like those endpoints only. You can see, and in header, I'm not clicking because it will expose the secret. It is there. Then, uh, then see, uh, these are. Let me zoom this. So this is the HTTP request. This is the start conversation. This is the send message, and then this is the get activities, and this is the response, and this is the assign activity. And when I triggered this model, it has invoked this workflow, and the name of this workflow is API workflow. Okay, and this API workflow was invoked, and all these activities were executed one by one, and it worked similar to the way we had used Bruno. And then the output was also received, which we can see here. So in this video, we learned how REST API is integrated with AI agents, what direct line API is, how conversations are created, how messages are exchanged, and how UiPath Maestro can operationalize the integration. This is a major architectural step in the AI agent development journey, because now the AI agent is no longer just a chat interface. It becomes an enterprise AI service. In the upcoming video, we will continue exploring more advanced sections of the AI agent development journey, which you can see a glimpse on my screen, such as AI agent as a tool, custom functions, multi agent orchestration. So, If you found this video useful, do subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. But before I sign off, remember, if there is a will, there are ways to online. Thank you. See you in next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.